All right, good morning, traders. It is Saturday, July 1st, and I'm going to go over my square swing trade position and do a little analysis and see where I think the stock might be headed next. I got into this trade about 2 weeks ago on the 16th, which was this little doji right here. I got into this position kind of on accident. I was trying to set just a limit order to get filled if the price ever came back down around this support level here, around the 2245, 2250 area. Well, with DAS Pro, if there's no price entered when you hit buy or sell or short or whatever, it gets you in at the price that is currently on the bid if you're buying or the ask if you're selling. So it put me in at 2370, which in hindsight, it got me into the stock, it got me into a trade, but it was not a good entry. And I had my stop set down here below these, this level of support at like 22, 28, 29, somewhere around there. And I have been watching it chop around the past week, and I thought, this is too much risk. I don't want to risk that much money. That's almost $1.50 per share, which would mean I would need to make almost $5. So the stock would need to get up close to 30 bucks. I don't know that it's going there anytime soon. So I took a little risk off and I put my stop up to 22.76, I think is where I've got it. I did that for a couple of reasons. So you might be thinking like, well, hey, I see this level of support right here. And why didn't you move it up there, Jay? And that's a good question. And you could move it up there, I suppose. For me, there's a couple of things going on. So we've got this trend of higher lows, which will kind of act as a little bit of support. Obviously, yes, there is some support there right around 23.25. So that always acts as natural support and resistance. Then we've got the lower Bollinger Band here, which also happens to coincide with the 61.8 fib retracement level. And this is pretty much the golden ratio number that Fibonacci was developed around. So to me, that's pretty important. And the fact that I've got both of those lining up there gives me great confidence in the ability to sleep at night knowing my stop loss is safe in the event of a gap down or some crazy news that's going to make the stock tank. So that also puts me at only about $1 of risk per share, which means I only need it to go up about $3 to profit. And $3 would be a little bit higher than my 1272 retracement level. So I will probably, if the stock gets up this high, if it gets up to 2650, I'll just get out here. That's about 75 bucks, 70 bucks, something like that. I'm fine with that. Again, these swing trades are designed to basically just cover my platform fees for the month if I either A, don't do much day trading, which is very likely because I just tend to paper trade a lot, or B, if I take some red days and I don't want my capital to go below $500 because then I lose my margin. So it's just kind of another, not insurance policy because you can certainly lose money doing this, but to me, I think it's a good way to try to put a little bit of extra capital into the trading account. So where could this go next? As I stated, this trend line here is going to act as some interim support in the short term. It's tough to say, but generally when you see a doji, it indicates that there's some indecision. So hopefully that indecision is meaning, hey, people want to start buying again. You see it had 4 red days out of the last 5. I'd like to believe that this, given the bullish trend that it's in, that this is going to not reverse, but it's going to bounce off of this level here, and we'll see it move higher this coming week. If you zoom it out also to a little bit longer time frame, this is basically forming a bull pennant right here is what's happening. So you've got your flagpole shape, right, this big move up, and then you've got your lower highs and your higher lows in kind of a wedge symmetrical triangle type pattern. So that's a basic pennant. Flagpole and then a triangle at the end of it. And it's generally going to continue moving in the direction of the trend, which right now, anybody who's going to say it's anything other than a bullish trend, you need to probably not be in the markets. So I'm confident that this is going to move up. Again, I think we'll get a bounce here, and I'd like to see it break through this trend line and actually hold above 24 it kind of had a little bit of support there, and then it broke through, and you see we had a red day, and then it came up and then right back down. So 24 is not really holding. I'd like to see it establish some support there and then push up and make a move through 25. If it can get through and hold 25, I think we'll start to see a little more interest in the stock, and it'll start creeping up a little higher, and then that'll allow me to take profits. I'm hoping that all occurs before the beginning of August, because they do have earnings coming out, and I think, let's see, in February they did beat the estimate, and I'm hoping that they're going to beat the estimate again. I am not a fundamental analyst. I don't look at their balance sheets and all that jazz and see what's going on. So for me, holding through earnings is kind of a crapshoot. I might do some Googling and see what might be some news surrounding the earnings release towards the end of July, depending on where the price is. If it ends up stopping me out, well, then I've just lost the 30 bucks. But if it starts to tick up a little bit, I may just get out depending on what the chatter is around that earnings, or I might hold it and see what happens. So it's kind of where that's at. If I was looking to try to get into this stock right now, I would really consider watching this on Monday. I don't know if Monday's a half-day trading day or if the markets are closed. So either Monday or Wednesday, I would probably look and see what happens here. If it looks like the stock is going to bounce and it's going to get a little move up in the morning, then I would think it would be a good time to maybe get in. If I had not been in and I had just thought, hey, this is not going to happen, I'm not getting filled down here, I would definitely consider this a possible entry point, depending on what happens Monday. Now, if it just continues and it breaks this trend line and you kind of have that red day action and we get a move down, obviously, that wouldn't be a good idea. So this is not an entry point where, if you can't watch the market, that I would recommend. And again, I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm an amateur trader. So, take what I say with a grain of salt. It's certainly not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I would think if I was looking at this chart right now. I would probably consider this a decent entry point if the first trading day of the coming week is a green day. All right, so comment below. I do like interacting with all you guys in the community, all the comments that I've received. I appreciate it. And, for me, this is fun. I hope it's the same for you. If you've got questions about either maybe any of the indicators I've used or, anything about chart setups, technical analysis, I like all that. So, again, like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks.